lives one day at a time. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. They're here to get your day going. Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. Kimmy Kim and Elations Radio. And here's your host, Miss Kim Robinson.
Stranded, lost, just caught in a daze, branded, an outcast, life passed on you away, broken, defeated, you can't seem to win, so you cry out, holy, because you need a friend. Stop crying, crying, he'll be there through the night. Stop denying, denying, he's able to change your life. No more hurting, hurting, joy comes in the light. I can see you breaking and praying that something will go right. Call on him and he'll set you free. Alpha, Omega, you're my beginning and my end. Father, my Savior, you're a healer and a friend. Master Jehovah, my life is in your hands. I am free. Confused, distracted, no focus to your calling. Your feelings useless, depression has you falling. You're praying, fasting, believing in the chance. So you cry out, holy, you need deliverance. Stop crying, crying, he'll be there through the night. Stop denying, denying, he's able to change your life. No more hurting, hurting, joy comes in the light. I can see you breaking and praying that something will go right. Just call on him, 'cause he'll set you free.
Alpha, Omega,
you're my beginning and my end.
Father, my Savior,
you're a healer and a friend.
Master Jehovah,
you see my life is in your hands.
I am free. Alpha, Omega,
you're my beginning and my end.
Father, my Savior,
you're a healer and a friend.
Master Jehovah,
my life is in your hands.
I am free.
Oh, I'm free. So glad I'm so glad I'm free. Help me say free. Nobody's holding me, yeah. I made it through my storm, and I can see the finish line. He kept me through. My Redeemer set me free. Said no more chains,
No more chains,
said no more chains,
no more chains,
said no more chains,
no change.
No more change.
No more change.
No more change.
No more change.
That I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free.
No more change.
No more change.
There are no more chains.
No more
I see
change.
no more chains.
No more
It looks
change.
like I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free.
No more chains.
No more change.
No more chains.
No more
There are no more chains.
No more change.
That I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free.
No more chains.
No more change.
No more chains.
No more change.
When I look through my life,
No more
I see
change.
that I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free. No more
The chains are
change.
gone.
No more
The chains are
change.
gone away.
No more change.
That I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free.
I'm free.
Hallelujah. I'm so glad I'm free. You've been so good to me. So now I'm free. So now I'm free.
Hey everyone, this is your girl Monique Walker, the host of the Uplifted with Mo show, and I'm super excited that you made the choice to listen in on today. See, the Uplifted with Mo show was created to uplift and encourage those who have lost all hope. They are discouraged, they have no joy, they have no peace, but this show was created to give them hope, to let them know that regardless of what situation they are in, they are able to come out. So what you will see on this show, you will hear testimonies of those who have been in deep places in their lives, but they came out victorious. Like the word of God says, they overcame him, the adversary, their enemy, by the blood of the Lamb and by the words of their testimony. So you have to get connected to the Uplifted with Mo show, because I guarantee you it will encourage you. So you can connect with us on Facebook. You can connect with us on Instagram, or check out our YouTube channel, Uplifted with Mo. Get connected, or you can just simply send us an email at upliftedwithmo@gmail.com. I'm so looking forward to being connected and getting to know you, but most of all, for you to live a victorious life. This is your girl, Monique Walker. You guys be encouraged. Hey everybody, this is your girl Monique Walker. I am the host of the Uplifted with Mo show, and you guys have really made my day because you tuned in to me today. I'm super excited, and I'm telling you guys, we have a phenomenal show planned for you on today. So you guys don't go nowhere. Don't change the station or nothing. Stay tuned in to the Uplifted with Mo show, because we have a treat for you on today. So today's show is kind of like a spin-off of a poll that we did on Facebook, and we asked a lot of women if they had the opportunity to ask men, they had to be 100% honest with them, ask them a question, what would they ask? And you guys, when I tell you the influx of questions was bananas, it was insane. And I think we had like over 300 questions from women that really wanted to know what a man thinks about love, about relationship, and about marriage. So the Uplifted with Mo staff, we heard your questions, we heard your heart, and this show was created just for you on today. So after me and my staff, we went through everything. The hunt was on for the right men that were going to be 100% honest with you, not just in answering the questions, but men of integrity, men of standards, and men that really cared what was weighing and pressing on your heart. So we found the right men, and they are in the studio today. You guys, I'm so excited. So today, our show is about the man's code. This is our truth. So women, buckle your seatbelt, because they are letting us into what men really think and feel. I know you guys are excited because I'm excited. So, what we're going to do, we're going to take a small commercial break before we introduce our guest. But I'm telling you, don't go nowhere. Stay seated and stay tuned in to the Uplifted with Mo show. The Man's Code. This is our truth. I'll see you in a bit. Commercial break, and as you can see, I have these wonderful gentlemen sitting at my left. I have to remember where my left and my right was. Sitting at my left here for the Man's Code. This is our truth. Welcome, fellas.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to introduce our special guest for today. Our first guest is Richard Stevens. He is a native here from South Carolina. He's single lady. He is an entrepreneur. He's a motivational speaker. I call him the motivational drill sergeant because he'll definitely get you motivated. Fitness guru. He's just an all-around genuine, nice guy. And believe me when I say he does not have a problem giving you his true, honest opinion. Believe me when I say that. So welcome to the Uplifted with Mo show, Richard.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you guys, I'm one of the guys today, so I've been giving them pound all day. All right, you guys, and I know I really don't even have to introduce our next guest because he is the hostess of the mostest, Mr. Calvin Logan of the Logan Power Show. Hey, Calvin, how you doing today?
It's a blessing to be with you here today.
Oh,
man, Richard.
Get up Thank you. Well, for the few hundred people that don't know Calvin, he's a husband, he's a father, he's an entrepreneur, he's a man of God that does not mind speaking life into other people. He is the host and CEO of the Logan Power Show. I'm telling you, he is phenomenal. He is interviewing people all over the nation, all over the world. So get connected, okay? But Calvin, thank you so much for being a part of the Uplifted with Mo show today.
Well, it's an honor to be with you today, and everyone who's watching Uplifted with Mo show. She's doing some great things. She's making a lot of pathways, breaking a lot of different barriers. So we pray today that this show will change your life and uplift you. So I know you're going to enjoy what's going to happen today.
He's my PR person too. He's doing good. All right, fellas. So like I was saying before we went on commercial break, this show is about men becoming vulnerable and giving answers to some of the questions that these women want. So I had to make sure that I found the right men to do this because I could just have any Joe Blow get on here and say something that's not going to help, that's not going to heal, and that's not going to be effective for what these women need.
True.
So let me ask y'all a personal question. So when I came to you and I asked you to be a part of the show, Richard, what gave you the courage to accept this engagement, to accept being on the show and being open and honest enough to share from a male's perspective of what women date?
Okay, well, I chose to be on the show because I feel like I have some insight going through experiences and also learning from other people. And there are a lot of people that I care about that I think should hear this stuff. And also, I have nieces and people like that who, as females, they want to get the answer to these questions, and I want to make sure that I give them those answers.
That's good. Calvin, and yourself?
Well, I always want to help out any way I can to be a servant. So when Monique had asked me to do so, it's like, okay, let's say we're going for this man code. But I believe that this will be an eye opener. I always want to be very transparent. Not say too transparent, open to my entire home, but help that I can help other men to become better, strive for greatness. I want, married couples, because I'm married myself, to understand the importance of it. I'm a father, so 3 great, vibrant kids. So and I want to help out people. So I pray that today that I'm able to help you and just tell you, hey, everyone has flaws, they make mistakes, but we want to go forward and make this a great place.
Awesome. So now y'all see why I had to choose these guys. Like I said, they're not just here to be honest about giving you answers to your questions, but they actually care. They have women in their lives they care about. They want to help you. So, ladies, because I'm a woman, and I know sometimes I turn my ears off because I don't want to hear everything a man has to say. But if you really want to be helped, single ladies, if you looking for your man, your Boaz, your husband, listen. Women that are married, if you're having trouble in your marriage and you're trying to get your husband to understand where you're coming from and you want to understand where he's coming from, listen today. So get out of self, put yourself on the shelf, all right? And listen to what they have to say today, all right? So we are going to take another quick break, but I'm telling you, what we're going to find out when you come back from this break is, what do men find attractive in a woman beyond her beauty? So if you want to hear the answer to that, come back after this commercial break to the Uplifted with Mo show. The man's code, this is our truth.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan, and I thank you for tuning in today. Well, first off, the Logan Power Show, we are a faith-based show. We believe that Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. We believe that we're a voice for the people. We believe that if you watch this show, your life will never be the same. I want you all to come on all different walks of life, different categories of life. Hey, if you're a pastor, this is a platform for you. Hey, if you're a business owner, this is a platform for you. Non-profit organization, this is the platform for you. Social injustice, we're here to make a difference. We want the community to understand it's a Logan Power Show. I want you right now, who's listening to me right now, to go to our website right now, www.theloganpowershow.us. Nationwide, worldwide. Hey family, we love you. We'll see you soon.
Alright, this is your girl Monique. We're back from our commercial break. We are here with Mr. Richard Stevens and Mr. Calvin Logan. They are our male guests, giving you a male perspective of the man's code. This is our truth. So if you caught us before we went on our commercial break, we wanted to ask questions. We wanted to ask the men, what do they find attractive to women beyond their beauty? So who's going to be first to take that question on for us?
I gotta go first.
Okay.
Well, I know for me, I need to know first, is she humble? The reason why humility is a big factor for me is because in a marriage, you're going to have your ups and downs. It's not going to always be peaches and cream like everybody tries to make it sound like, there's always going to be great days for the rest of your life. You're going to have trials and tribulations. Is she humble enough to understand that there may be times where you guys are not having steak every day? Maybe some pork and beans and rice. It may be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich based off of where you are. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. Can she make me laugh? I don't know about anybody else, but I do not want a Scrooge McDuck type of woman where she has a mug look on her face and it's always, you got to be serious. You got to live. So if you can't be happy about finding humor in the things you're going through, then you're not going to get through. And then thirdly, does she have a drive or a vision that wants you to say, she has her own inventions in her head. She's very creative. And what I mean by creative is that in a marriage, a wife's supposed to do a couple things for you. She's supposed to multiply you. It's like in math. A woman's supposed to multiply your situation, and that's multiply everything you have. You got one house, multiply it by two. If you got things in your house, you got one pair of suits, multiply your suits. If your relationship with the Lord was on 10, she should boost it up to 20, because she's going to push you moving forward. She always has to add on to what you're going through. She has to add to a better life for yourself. If you were like this, if you were at 20 and you was always mild-mannered, never want to push forward, she should add to your situation. Now she has to subtract things that should not be in your life. If you used to kick it with your friends and their friends are not going to the next level, then she should subtract. She should step into. She's supposed to be your best friend. If you are married, that's supposed to be your helpmeet. So she has to be the one to subtract the people that are not there for you. And then she divides. Dividing could be dividing the workload, dividing the business up, be something like, hey, you're in charge of this department, you're in charge of there. Like, hey, you got multiple kids, you got this child to go wash in this bathroom, you got to wash this bathroom. Hey, you cooking the day, you washing the clothes, you take the trash out, you do this. It's a team thing. And those are the three things I look for. I mean, humility is huge. You got to be able to laugh, and you got to be creative. That's my
That's interesting.
Great point.
Those are good points. And guys, for y'all just to know today, I'm just a facilitator today. I can't give my 2 cents today, okay? I'm going to let the men speak, and I'm just listening. But those were definitely some great points, Calvin. Would you like to add anything to that?
Well, yeah, I think a very important attribute is attitude. Like, how is your attitude? Because we're going to go through things and we work and we have other things going on in life, but when we do communicate, how is your attitude? Are you just complaining about your day and how bad it was? Or do you see positivity in anything? Are you trying to help the situation? Are you trying to look at what can you bring to the happiness of our overall relationship? I think that's very important. Also, someone who's supportive. That is very, very important because that's key because as men, I'm a business owner and I have things going on. I'm just speaking for me. Sometimes I need encouragement too. I don't want to always have to come and give you a speech to come pump you up. Sometimes I might need a pat on the back, someone to pump me up or someone just to say, hey, what can I do to support you in X, Y, Z? And those are things I look for.
Awesome. Well, I definitely believe those are great attributes that both of you guys talked about. And this kind of leads into our next question. Because some women, if they're still dealing with baggage and they're still dealing with brokenness from past relationships, past things that they've been through, they may not be able to give those attributes or possess those qualities that the man is looking for. So another question that one of our women asked was, it says, what advice can you offer to a broken woman who has been emotionally or physically abused by the men they love to help them find a way to healing that they need?
Got it. Biggest thing I would say first is forgiveness. That's a hard one. But you got to forgive the ones who hurt you. Because there's no way you can actually say you love somebody else and you still harboring something that's internally with you. Because that's what causes cancer. That's what causes stress. That's what causes people to have high blood pressure. Diabetes. There's so many things people don't understand and what goes on internally. She could be gorgeous, but she could be dying inside.
Wow.
And she still holds stuff that happened back when she was 12 years old, or something she happened at 21, 24, or dude number 3 broke her heart. So when she made dude number 8 that maybe is the perfect person for her, what did she do? She messed it up. Or he messed it up because he didn't understand where she was coming from because you guys never asked the hard questions. So you got to first know to forgive. Another thing is that if you feel that counseling. Now for me, it would be spiritual counseling. First, I believe that, you have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior. That's one thing. If you have a good spiritual relationship and you and God got a situation, He's going to help you. You ask God for His mercy. You ask Him for His favor. You ask Him for His peace, His love, and His protection. The reason why you're asking for these things is that you want to have an understanding. You need His favor because you're going to make mistakes in relationships. There's some people you're going to think that's the perfect person, and His favor was the date that you guys supposed to get on, something happened and you missed the date that you thought was the great date, and you turned out like you guys missed the date. And then you met him the second time, you didn't see his other side, you caught it before it could have detrimented your life. Mercy could be where you're going through trials and tribulations and you got yourself into a hole, way out of it, and the next thing you know, because there's so many drama, he left, or she left, or however it was. God's love can always break any type of fear, detriment, turmoil that you're going through. You need His peace. Without peace, you can't even love somebody else. The Bible talks about love thy neighbor as thyself, but you gotta love yourself and you gotta love God. There's no way in the world you can love your neighbor if you don't love you.
I agree.
And then for protection, you gotta be well protected. So you gotta know how to forgive. You gotta have a strong spiritual relationship with yourself. And then if you need someone to keep you accountable. And at first, if you're not married, keep someone accountable for you. Like, in the military, you always be going in parties of two. Mm-hmm. Because if I'm stumbling, someone's going to pick you back up. If we're going down this dark street, well, it's kind of hard if it's two against one, because we're going to help each other out. So you have to know that, keep yourself accountable. So if you learn those three things, forgiveness, a good spiritual strong foundation that will help you, have someone to keep you accountable, and that's someone going to be straight blunt with you. Like, girl, like for you ladies, your friends say, girl, look, the same dude you was messing with 3 months ago. What you got? You the wrong deodorant on, something like that. That thing ain't sure. You got some straight, like you got stank coming your way, and you repeat the same stank. You need to clean your house up. And then the final thing you got to ask yourself too, someone keeping you accountable, someone who loves you now, not someone who just always agrees with what you're saying, but always a true friend. You got to do a self-evaluation what's in your house. It means look what's in your house that reminds you of your past. Sometimes you got to clean up out. Maybe it's like if he left something from the past, burn it. If it's something you don't want, put it in the trash. If it's old emails, delete it. If it's old inboxes in the DM, delete that thing. If it's an old Christmas card, T-shirt, hey, rip it. So I'm just letting you know what's going to help you, and I hope that helps you out here today.
I know I'm going to be quiet, but he's telling the truth. Burn it, throw it away. Get it out the house. Okay. Richard.
Well, those are some good points. I also believe that it's important to know yourself. And you got to take time to get to know yourself. And I think sometimes people, when they get out of a relationship, I think they're afraid to be alone, so they go and jump into another relationship when they haven't fully healed. So I think you have to take time and find out, okay, what can I learn from this situation before I can move forward? Because when people hurt you, I believe that in the forgiveness process, if you can't see that person being successful, you're not ready to forgive them.
Wow.
So forgive them, not just call them and say, hey, I forgive you and moving on. I think that's an active process. Also, I think that you have to find out, what do I really want from another person? So if you're looking at this relationship, a lot of times you probably saw signs of them hurting you or abusing you in the beginning, but you didn't leave for whatever reason. So I think you have to get to know yourself, and don't worry about changing yourself so much. You just say, hey, what can I learn from this situation? What can I do better? Because that's one thing you can control. Even if they did you wrong, find out what you could have done better before you move on to somebody else. Because that other person might be the right one, but if your attitude is not right, then they're not going to stick around.
Oh, that was good. That was good. Okay, and I think this question kind of leads into what you guys are talking about. Because a lot of the women have questions about why do men cheat? Why do men lie? So we're going to talk about a little bit about matters of the heart, like some of the things baggage that men kind of have went through, but and how it kind of have cultivated their lives and what they can do or how they can understand what's really going on with their man. So this question deals with how has the absence or presence of having your father in your life shaped your views on relationships and how to treat a woman?
Okay. For me, my father was in my life probably 80% of the time. My father wasn't really there during my teen years to like high school, like off and on, because my parents got divorced when I was like going into my 8th grade year of school. There were some things that I can actually remember that I did need my father on, but he wasn't really there to actually to give me the tutelage that I need. So I relied upon other family members. My cousin, shout out to my brother John Mel Vaughn and my god brother George Tillis, people who I know helped me grow spiritually. I had some pastors who really were there for me. But I know that having my father there for a good majority of my life helped me, because when I became a father, it taught me what things I learned from him. My father got a great relationship. I'll tell you right now, that's one of my best friends. That's my dude. My dad is great. But I've had both things. I can tell you what it's like when you have a father. I can tell you like when you not have a father. Having a father does matter. My mother was there my entire life. But I tell you right now, you need to have a father or some kind of male role model, because the ladies can play a dual role. It can be done, but there are some things that a male can do that a woman cannot do, and we don't talk about this. You don't hear it a lot of times in church. You don't hear it a lot of times in school. You don't hear it a lot of time in certain things, but the kind of response you may need to get from that little girl, that little boy, may require a male to step in.
And Calvin, what we're going to do, we're going to put a pin in that question, because I think we're going to go a little bit deeper in that question after our commercial break. But we're going to take a 30-second commercial break, and then we're going to be right back. And this is a question majority of the women ask. They wanted to know, why is it so hard for y'all men to be honest? So after our commercial break, we're going to talk a little bit more about the presence or absence of having your father and getting to the root cause of why men just can't be honest with us. This is your girl Monique. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan, and I thank you for tuning in today. But first off, the Logan Power Show, we are a faith-based show. We believe that Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. We believe that we're a voice for the people. We believe that if you watch this show, your life will never be the same. I want you all to come on, all different walks of life, different categories of life. Hey, if you're a pastor, this is the platform for you. Hey, if you're a business owner, this is a platform for you. Non-profit organization, this is the platform for you. Social injustice, we're here to make a difference. We want the community to understand it's a Logan Power Show. I want you right now, who's listening to me right now, to go to our website right now, www.theloganpowershow.us. Nationwide, worldwide. Hey family, we love you. We'll see you soon.
Back from our commercial break. We have been having such a phenomenal time off camera. I'm telling you, it's like barbershop talk in the studio today. These men are going in. But before the commercial break, Calvin, he was giving some nuggets about having a father in your life and how that can impact how you treat a woman and how you actually view women. But we are going to go to the question that most of you women have been asking me about. Y'all want to know, why is it so hard for men to be honest, completely honest with the women and tell them how they feel? So Richard, please answer that question for us.
Okay, well, most men have a hard time being honest, period. It's not just with women. But also, I think the man and the woman have to be able to have open and honest communication. Are you willing to listen to what the person is saying, whether you agree or not? Are you approachable? So do you get offended every time someone says something you don't like? That's one of the main things, because they don't want to turn it into an argument. So one of the main things that's hard for people to do is say, hey, I don't agree with what you're saying, but I understand where you're coming from. And a lot of people won't do that, especially women. So men do it too, but a lot of women have that problem. So when they listen to half of what you're saying, they're already getting defensive. Some of y'all probably getting defensive right now, but y'all not listening to what's going on to understand the situation. So you can only fix a situation if you listen and understand. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're wrong or you're right. You just have to listen and try to come to a conclusion of how we're going to work things out. But some men just have a problem with being honest, period, so it's not just with women.
Okay, sounds pretty good. All right, Calvin, this question is for you.
Okay.
How do men communicate their insecurities to the women that they love?
Ooh, it's a little tough one. Well, first of all, the insecurities, you have to, how you communicate, you have to be honest. Pretty much say like, hey, I got a problem, I got an issue. And you have to actually say it without being scared of the backlash.
Wow,
a lot of times we get afraid of the backlash that we may get. If you say like, you know, I'm not saying me, but say I'm a snorer or something, and you know, you say, oh my gosh, a guy who snores like an elephant or something, he's loud as heck, and I can't get no sleep. So, can she deal with that? Can she deal with maybe you may have a stuttering problem? Can she deal? That's my insecurity. You know, I stutter a lot, or I get nervous, or my palms of my hand get sweaty. You know, is that gonna offend you if I get nervous? Because maybe that's just what I'm going through. Sometimes you say, well, maybe I don't know when to take the lead. Sometimes, you know, I feel like I'm doing the right thing, but it could be the wrong time, because I haven't been taught how to take the lead. So the insecurities could be in something like saying, hey, I may not have been taught that. So if I haven't been taught it, I apologize, but I'm working to get better. But you got to be willing to say, okay, I got it. I'm going to work with it. We're going to move forward.
I like that. That's good. All right. Now, this is a biggie, you guys. What does the word submission mean to men as it relates to what they expect from their wife?
Okay. Well, I've been married 13 years, submission. One thing I can tell you what it means. It means working together. She's humble, you're humble. She can take feedback, you can take feedback. So you got to be able to have an open dialogue, communication. You got to know when to stop and when to walk away. I'm not telling that she got to be the one that always got to kiss you when you open it. You know, when you come home every day. Sometimes you got to go and get your kiss yourself. You know, I steal mine. You know, I don't know about y'all, but I ask for a kiss every day. Maybe that's a habit of change, but hey, I like to kiss my woman. That's how I feel. That's just how I want to do things. Now she may not like it sometimes, but that's just how I feel. I let you know that, hey, I care. I want to be with you. That's my response. So submission is you got to first be humble and meek. Now we're not saying lowly. You got to be behind him like that, but understand is that we are working together as a team. So if it's a team effort, it's a partnership, then we are going to work this together. And you got to know your boundaries. You got to know when it's your turn to take the lead. You got to know when it's my turn to take the lead. You got to learn when it's, hey, it's your turn to speak, my turn to speak. So submission is knowing your role, like playing on the team. You know, you can't be the superstar and everything in the house. You got to know when it's your turn to be the role player and make the assist and not trying to be the scorer all the time. Sometimes there's certain situations in a marriage where you're the scorer. You know, you got this. You the expert in this. I'm going to give you the ball all the time. There's certain times where it's my turn, so she needs to feed me the rock. And there's times where the final thing where it's times where you got to know what season you're in. Sometimes she could have elevated past you in a season. So ain't nothing, you know, God may have elevated her higher in a certain situation. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's that, hey, that's just, you got to go back to the dungeon, go back to work. Say, hey, God, you elevated her, so now I need to get to that level so that she doesn't feel left behind, or I'm elevated and she's behind. So that's what submission is.
Good, that's good. All right, Richard. Since you deflected some of your questions to Calvin, since you're single, we're going to talk about some questions called rules of dating. You ready?
Okay.
All right. Now, I don't want you to get beat up for this question. But it says, what indicators do women give off that they are thirsty?
Well, that's a hard question to answer, but I think it really depends on the individual, and I think they have to get to know the person that they're dating and know what they like. Like, for instance, some people like talking on the phone. Some people don't like talking on the phone as much. Some people like to text. So if I don't like to text as much and you texting me all day, that's going to be a problem. Or if you want to call and talk on the phone for a long time every day, that could be a problem. But in the beginning, when you're really getting to know each other, you do have to have a lot of communication. Some people, there might be time. So I think a lot of this comes down to having open and honest communication about what a person likes, what a person doesn't like, and you working together. And just to go back to the question you had about submission, it's about teamwork and you working together. So I think that's just communication they have to have. It could depend on the individual. But I will say this, the only time a woman is clingy is when the man don't really want to be with her. That's the only time it's a problem. If it was someone he really wanted to be with, then that wouldn't be a problem. Same thing for a woman. If she said man's clingy, if she don't really want to be with him, she'll find a reason to say this isn't a problem. But if she really likes him, she want that call every day, that text every few minutes or whatever it is. So, and that's not right or wrong. That's just the way it is. If we really like you, we'll make an excuse to be with you. If we don't, we'll make an excuse to get away.
That was good. That was real good. Richard, back to you.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see which one I want to do. Oh, this is a good one.
Hot seat.
How do you handle telling a woman who's in love with you that you don't feel the same way about her?
We have to sit down and have a conversation about it because all of that's going to do is going to cause problems in the future. So what I would want to do is sit down and find out where are we going, where are we at, and what are we going to do to fix whatever we're trying to do. If that's not going to work, then we would have to go our own ways because I personally believe that if it doesn't work, it's going to end in a breakup. And I think a breakup is what you do for someone, not to someone. Because if you really feel like this is not the person that you want to be with, be married to, have a family with, you have to let them know that. If you string them along, it's going to get a lot worse. So I think you just sit down and have open, honest communication, say, hey, we're not moving in the right direction, or you're not the person that I want to be with. And you have to be okay with hurting their feelings if that's what it takes, because it's going to hurt more in the future when it really doesn't work out.
That? All right, Calvin, I'm gonna come back to you.
Okay.
Rich, I'm gonna leave you alone just for a few minutes now. Don't get too comfortable. But Calvin. So Richard talked about, when a man really, he will make excuses if he really don't want to be with you, right? But what changes do men make when they know they have found the one?
Got it. When you've made changes, well, first thing you're going to do is subtract things in your life that's not going to add value to you guys coming together. You got to get rid of some stuff. It could be friends. It could be old acquaintances. Like, if you're saying this is the one for me, I mean, you ain't talking to that girlfriend you was talking to from a year ago or 2 years ago. You're going to set up a vision board that what you want to have in place. Like, you want to say, like, hey, I know I'm going to be with this woman, so I'm going to set this thing up. Because, man, we think this thing through. Like, man, we're going to get, the day you propose to her, you were thinking, like, man, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to shock her. I shocked my wife when we got married. I got deployed for almost a year. I proposed to her like that year before, but I was deployed. And my gunnery sergeant told me, he said, you're going to find out this is the right one for you because you'll be gone for about a year. You're going to find out, really. You're going to find out. You're going to listen to all your brothers. You're going to find out where everyone gets these deployments. Everybody's all gung-ho to get married before you get deployed. And you ain't even talk to you, have a conversation. You're going to find out the right one for you. So I learned through that time that I got a lot of flaws. And I'm glad I did not get married before I got deployed. Otherwise, I would have been divorced because I wasn't really going to be a faithful guy at first because I did not know how to be a husband like we've done. But I knew through trials and tribulations, almost losing my life, I learned from the bishop when he came back. He told me, he said, man, if you really love this girl, you're going to come back and you're going to marry her before you be with her. Because you got to make it an understanding God's got to work in your situation. Don't always try to rationalize it. Because a lot of times we rationalize in our thinking. Sometimes you got to make that decision now. Because that decision can change your life. So I married my wife. We had got on the bus, came home, flew back in from the United States. I married her the next day. I told people in the news I would marry her the next day. Now, was I ready to be a husband? No. Have I been a faithful husband? Absolutely. Was I a jerk before we got married? Absolutely. But being married these 13 years now, I can honestly say it was one of the best decisions I ever made because I never got caught up in that special moment. Like, people get so caught up in that the day we get married, and you got this wedding bells, the day you get the wedding, great, partying, honeymoon. You talk about all these $1,000 you spending, but y'all don't talk about nothing the day after the marriage. You don't talk about what's going to happen after year 1, year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. You don't talk about the for better for worse situation. No one ever talks about that. So when a man makes a total decision, he's totally sold out. He doesn't care what anybody else says. But I know this: when you are sold out for her, you always have a confirmation. There's always a confirmation. There's always something. Either could be a friend could have confirmed with you, but I know for me, God confirmed it with me. I know my faith. God confirmed I was the right woman for me, despite what others thought I should have been with.
Wow.
Some people will say, this is who you should be married to, Cal. This is it. Boom, boom, boom. And I'll be like, yeah, it's great. But I was going for the chemistry. There's something about this one ain't the same one here. You know, yeah, I know she's not, because my wife is not from, I'm from Los Angeles, California. My wife's from Charleston, South Carolina. So I already knew our lives were not going to be on the same page because I saw things that she saw. But I knew when I did that, this would be the right person for me. God told me to make that happen, and no matter what happens, stick in it. Never say you gave up on your marriage. Always say you knew that. So when you make that decision, you're going to be sold out. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. So that's what I did.
That's good. And if I can be a woman just for a second, I know I'm in the man's cave and everything like that. But one thing I have to say, speaking to you women, one thing you said, Calvin, you said men think things through. But with women, we want things to happen instantaneously. We want to know, do they love me? We gonna get married tomorrow. Look, I like him, he need to like me, so let's do it. So I think women, even as we are trying to figure out what men are thinking, we have to know that they think differently from us. So sometimes we have to be patient and we have to wait and really know if what God is doing, if this may be the one or this may not be the one. So that was just one thing I just wanted to put a plug in there. I'm not a woman no more. I'm back in the man. I just had to say that. All right. Okay, I feel so good. Okay. All right. I'm going to ask this question. We're going to do 2 more questions, and we are actually, because we have so many more questions and we don't have enough time to do it in this one show, we're going to do another show. Yay! The Man's Code, this is our truth. We're going to do a part 2. We're going to have some different surprises for you on that one, but we're going to do 2 questions before we wrap this one up. And let's talk about sex, baby. We're going to do this one question. I'm over here laughing, right? All right. And we did have a lot of women that wanted to answer this question because we got a lot of faith church women. They want to wait. If a woman wants to abstain from having sex until marriage, are men willing to wait? And if so, why or why not? Okay. Both of y'all answer that.
I'll go first. That's a case by case. That's a case by case basis. It just depends on the individual. But it goes back to something I said before. If he really want to be with you, he'll do it. If he don't, that could be a deal breaker, but that might be another reason for him to not be with you.
Got it. I look at it as an investment. If you get a house, you go through stage. You get a realtor. If sex was like getting a house or a car, you really figure out if that's the rich we really want. You know, men like things. They do. Men are we're physical first. We look at the eyes. So if he knows the value of you like an investment, then he's willing to make that sacrifice. Sacrifices is key to a strong relationship. So if he understands the value of you and how important you are, he's going to make that change.
That's good. And this leads into our final question. And I really, really want y'all's opinion about this. It says, what is the most important thing a man values in a woman?
What you value the most important in a woman is, I would say first, is she God-fearing? That's just me. That's one of my biggest things. Does she have godly values that I know that I'm going to have? Does she love unconditionally? That's one of the biggest things you got to figure out. And you're going to find that in a marriage. If she loves you unconditionally. Because you're going to find that too. Like, ladies, I'm going to be honest with you, men figure you out. Hey, when you've been with someone, married someone that time, you've seen her bad days and her good days. So you've seen the time when makeup on and makeup off. Bad breath, good breath. So you understand the values of what you have. So I believe that for a man, I believe the godly values is what I'm looking for in a woman. 2, that she have a vision and a game plan herself. She can't be just riding on your vision. She have her own vision that she wants to do in life. Because remember, through marriage, from my personal experience, your woman's going to want to elevate. She's going to want to do something in life. She ain't want to be followed behind you and be your beck and call for 40 years or 50 years or 60 years. Thirdly, is she the kind of person that she makes you better? And she is one that she can actually compliment you. She's people say opposites do attract. They do. If you take a magnet, they have a positive and negative. People think opposite attracts don't work. You don't want to all be liking each other on everything. Opposites should attract. That's how it works. There's got to be something on the other end. If you guys knew the value of opposites attract, then you wouldn't have no problems. People want this perfect, like, well, I like blue, you like blue. Nah, you guys should have different upbringings as one, because that tells you how you guys are going to work together. She could have been a country girl, you could have been a city person, or vice versa. She could like southern food, you could like Italian. You guys gotta, it's a balance. Once you and you gotta understand another thing that you have to understand. She has to be patient. She's got to be patient, because you're going to make mistakes. You are not going to always wash the dishes right. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to miss that spot you didn't sweep in the corner. Okay, you made a mistake. Maybe you forgot to throw out the trash. And she flipped out about that. She wanted a divorce, she flipped out the trash, and that lets you know that wasn't the right one for you. She just pretty much all she wanted was, she thought it was Cinderella story, but they forgot to tell you that the Disney's a fairy tale, and they'll tell you the real truth behind it. So when you understand those things, you do better.
Richard?
Well, I would have to say communication is at the top of the list. Just sitting down and talking and understanding. And I think listening, and I think every one person, even whether you're married or not married, you've got to have communication. You have to talk about things. You can't be defensive every time someone says something you don't like, and you also have to be honest with telling that person how you feel. You have to be approachable, because sometimes there might be things that you need to hear, but you're not willing to hear because you're stubborn. So it's okay to be stubborn to a certain degree, but you have to be approachable. And I'm going to go back to something you said about unconditional love, because that's going to be hard, because you're going to deal with a lot of different emotions, different situations as you go through things in life. And you have to be able to work together. Partnership is the key as well. I don't believe relationships are 50-50. There's never going to be a time when someone's going to carry 50% of the load. And sometimes as a man, you're going to have to carry more of a load. Sometimes you might have to be that, you might have a bad day, but you might have to comfort her in her bad day, and nobody's going to listen to you. You have to be okay with that sometimes. You can't always look to be pampered. You have to be able to work together and make this work.
Awesome. You guys, thank you. Well, I'm telling you, this has been an awesome show on the Uplifted with Mo show today. The Man's Code, this is our truth. I thank Richard, Steven, and Calvin Logan for giving their perspective, sharing with you a male perspective, giving you honesty about what they feel about love, relationships, and women. Like I said, this is our first segment of the Man's Code. This is our truth. We're definitely going to be doing another segment, because we have so many more questions. So women, if you wrote in and you had questions we didn't get to on this show, don't worry, we're going to do it again. We're going to get to your questions. We may add a couple of other guys to the mix as well. But this is your girl, Monique Walker. I am the host of the Uplifted with Mo. I hope you've been uplifted and encouraged, and I hope you got a lot out of what the men said on today. So tune in next time, the Uplifted with Mo show, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.